Hello and welcome to Wednesday Night Magic Standard here at GameSwap Mason in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm Zachary West.
I am Logan Quick Slick.
Quick Slick. Quick Slick is back.
Yeah. Made a return.
We've got a decent matchup for you guys starting out here. Mono red versus green black.
Yep.
And I'm assuming this is green black snake.
Yeah, I don't really know what else you could build around with green black.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He has a snake in his hand. I was gonna say, what else would he be playing? What's at the top of his hand?
I think that's Hash Sheep Oasis.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, that's the enchantment. That's the enchantment.
The Reanimator enchantment?
Yeah.
Neat.
So he is playing something neat. All right, well. Doug's going to take a mulligan here. And I think the green-black Constrictor deck is favored in this matchup.
Ballista's pretty good.
Ballista's very good. Getting your creatures out of range of burn very quickly is burn. is good.
Vraska's Contempt is good.
Very good. Fatal Push is good. I mean, really the entire deck is just... It's not built to beat this deck, but it's... You have to have a pretty substandard draw to be able to like lose to this. I don't like Journey to Eternity in against Mono Red. Everything else I like against it.
Yeah, also the other thing is basically everything the Snake deck plays is going to have a bigger toughness than the Mono Red's power. Like Snake's a 2/3. The Explorer creatures usually can trade up.
Yeah.
So Doug's going to keep this here. Couple lands in hand.
I see an Earthshaker Kenra. I see a Lightning Strike. I see an On-Crop Crasher. Now he's got a Shock. He's got a Shock. No, he's got a Soulscar Mage. Ooh. All right. Luke's playing. So is Luke playing green black? So he's playing Commander Speaker. Is he playing Merfolk in here? Maybe. Is he
MTG strategist? Thank you for the follow.
Yes, thank you. And I apologize for Logan pronounce it strategist instead of strategist.
Yep, I live in a trailer.
Strategery.
So on that of people following, if you follow us, you can link us your deck list in chat. And two people you don't know will commentate on it, review it.
Just like in real life.
Yep.
Like in real life Magic events.
Yep.
We will take a look at it. We will critique it. We will offer anything that you would like us to talk about on it within reason. We're not gonna
build you a 60 card main deck, but we'll
we'll
review what you got.
We'll help you along as much as we can. Anything. Could be standard, could be modern, could be legacy. I'm not too big into vintage, but I'll take a look at some stuff.
We do Pauper.
Yeah, Pauper.
We know enough about that.
I do play a lot of Pauper on Moto, so I do know something about that.
So anyway, with that, Luke's building up a board here, and Doug is shooting down the creatures just as fast as he's putting them out there.
Yeah,
That's it's a nice Soulscar Mage getting in there with that damage.
Yeah, but Doug's...
We got a Karizev, and I couldn't see the other card.
Honestly, so if Luke puts this... Luke puts the Journey to Eternity on the Commander Speaker, holds up the Fatal Push, I like his chances this game. I don't... Doug doesn't have a really good way of dealing with that. Like, you kill it, and then it flips over, and then you just sit there, and then you lose to the creatures that's going to continue to return. Luke. What else are you going to throw that Journey to Eternity on? Okay. Doug's going to be able to power out two drops here. His Karizev and his Earthshaker Kenra. Get in for 3. Put Luke down to 11. Excuse me. And then he'll follow up with a Karizev that Luke is not going to be able to swing into. But Luke at the end of turn, as long as he doesn't Fatal Push right here.
I would not Fatal Push this.
I would not either.
I guess he's playing the Communal speaker because Merfolk Branchwalker. And then is Jadelight Ranger also a Merfolk?
Jadelight Ranger is also Merfolk, yes.
So I mean, he's got 2 other.
Is it a Merfolk? I believe it is.
Yeah.
He's gonna play a Foul Orchard. He still has this enchantment just sitting in his hand. I felt like he could have played it last turn and been fine. Now if he attempts to play it, you know, there's always the possibility that Doug's holding back burn and he could just burn the creature with that on the stack.
Yeah.
And of course that'll be no bueno for Luke.
Yeah, so even if you weren't planning on Fatal Pushing your own guy, he definitely should have just played it the last turn.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I don't know what the last card in Doug's hand is here, but
I think it's a carry Zev.
yeah, okay, I guess you're right. He hasn't played it yet.
I don't know why he didn't play it last turn either. Of course, we know when the Journey to Eternity flips, I mean, Doug's gonna have a hard time beating all those creatures coming back. All right, all right. I know Quick Slick is all about that name change. Strategist.
Anything bigger than 4 letters, I have trouble.
Anything above 4 letters and the number 6.
Yeah. I know Mountain Dew. That's a good one. I can spell Mountain Dew.
All right, and Doug wisely not getting in there.
Another Fatal Push.
A Fatal Push. He could Fatal Push his own Commander Speaker.
He could. This point, yeah, as I say, at this point, you might as well just hang on to it. And
yeah, Doug's got a Glorybringer in his hand. He just drew a 5th land.
Seems good.
And away we go. I think you have to kill this carry Zev prior to combat. There you go. Yep. He's going to kill that. Doug's going to just swing the Glorybringer, and he is not going to exert wisely. The race is on. If Luke is playing... that's not going to get it done either. But if Luke is playing a Vraska's Contempt in his deck, maybe he'll be fine?
I think that... Yeah,
he seems pretty low to the ground, and he's not going to be playing a lot of high drops. I don't expect him to be playing Vraska's Contempt, but he could be playing Ravenous Chupacabra.
Yeah. I don't... Luke's going to have a hard time getting back into this game now. That turn where he didn't just, like, push his own speaker to flip the enchantment, I mean, I think that just took all the air out of the momentum on his side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now he's already got another Kinra in the yard, so even a land drop here is going to start being live for Doug.
Doug's going to get in there for 7.
Yeah,
put Luke down to 2.
Yeah, so now all he has to do is just swing next turn. I mean, he doesn't even have to do anything.
Yeah. And looks like he drew another land. Yep, and that's it. So we're off to game 2. I think, yeah, getting the enchantment online, Journey to Eternity, is it able to get creatures out of your opponent's graveyard too, or is it just yours?
I believe it is your own, but we will pull it up.
He just had a snake in his graveyard. If he had like multiple creatures being able to put on pressure, yeah, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Yeah, he had 2 out there because at one point he had three creatures, and then Doug shot 2 of them down and left the Kamina up. So
yeah.
He had something else. I just don't remember what it was.
Ooh. I see Luke siding in Kitesail Freebooters. He brought in a Duress.
Got some Nissas.
I'm not a big fan of Duress against Mono Red. I never have been.
Well,
if it's like an all-burn Mono Red, Moment of Craving I love.
So the Aether Sphere Harvester seemed great, but I don't really like the Freebooters.
The Freebooters I can understand a little bit more, because with the Freebooters it takes a spell out of their hand or they have to use a burn spell on it. It's not like Modern where Searing Blaze is still going to burn you and kill the creature. Like in Standard they're going to have to take those out.
And we just got to see a little bit of Doug sideboarding as well, and he opted not to bring in one of the Chandras, it looked like. So that duress might not be doing what Luke wants. If Luke was thinking that Doug's going for the
Long
mid-range,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, he's taking out... I saw Doug taking out the Bomat Couriers. I'm assuming he's bringing in like another Braid. Unless he's playing 4 main deck. He could just be playing 4 main deck. I don't really understand. I don't really understand the Kamina speakers in this deck.
Well, it could possibly be a budget concession. Like maybe he just doesn't have the cards yet.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's playing 2 other fish in the deck, so I guess it's fine as a filler until he gets the cards he's wanting.
Okay.
But we've had Luke on camera plenty of times, and he does love his fish, so he might just want to,
He just wants
play
to
some
fish.
fish. Yeah.
I didn't see Merfolk Branchwalker when he was flipping through his deck, but that would be like a good 1-2 drop combo.
Yeah.
That might be like that's something to think about. If he's got like Jade Light Ranger, Merfolk Branchwalker, the Snake, I would hope he'd be playing Rishkar.
Yeah, I didn't see a Rishkar either when he was going through his deck.
Yeah.
This might just be a Luke Browning special. Honestly, I didn't see Ballista either, so I'm not really sure what the Snake's for right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused as well. Other than like Merfolk Branchwalker, yeah, I'm not foreseeing like a lot of counters being put on the creatures.
Who knows? He might prove us wrong this time.
Yeah. Taking out those freebooters that he was trying to decide whether to put in or not.
So, if you're just joining us, we mentioned earlier in the stream, if you give us a follow or a subscribe, you can link your deck list in the chat through Tapped Out or Goldfish, whatever you want, and well, 2 people you don't know will review it for you and tell you what you're doing wrong.
And talk about it.
Yeah, so it's
or doing right.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be anything wrong.
Yep. So for just for subscribing, we will 2 random strangers will give you deck list advice. How about that? It's the kind of world we live in today.
All right.
Luke's still doing some sideboarding here.
Excuse me.
So, standard seems to be pretty healthy still. There hasn't been any like large pro events. There's been SCGs, but a lot of the top players in the world don't really attend SCG events. So,
No.
the format's still pretty diverse. We haven't had any GPs yet. I think we have the first standard GP in 2 weeks in Memphis, I believe. So you think anything will be broken, or do you think we'll just see some more refined versions of, Mono Red, Snake, Grixis, the current usual suspects?
So based on the Magic Online, PTQ results from this past weekend,
Okay.
there was a lot of mono red.
Yeah?
Like, I think there were 4 or 5 copies in the top 8. And then there was like a black-red aggro deck as well in the top 8. So
I have a Mardu Dragon Modern deck. What do you think I should put in my board? Well, we would be able to help with that a little better if you posted your main deck. Also, we're gonna roast Top Deck Productions list. Affinity.
Affinity.
That's what he posted with Carapace Forger, Frogmite, Gearseeker Serpent. What is this? This is Popper. Okay, that makes more sense. I'd roast it, but it looks pretty stock.
Yeah, that's I
At first, I was ready to tear into it, and then I was like, oh, all right.
no need to tear into it. It tore into itself.
So,
right.
scry to the bottom here for Doug.
Doug took a mulligan, but he took a mulligan last game, and he still kind of ran over Luke.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, Doug has a Scavenger Grounds in his hand, I believe.
Okay.
So if Luke tries to keep something that's all in on the enchantment, it might not work out.
All right. Kamina Speaker and a Soulscar Mage. Luke's got a snake again?
Snake.
Snake. And what does he got to follow up here? Okay. So he is
Black green fish.
Black
All right.
green for fish. And right there's the combo. The elite
Yep.
and snake.
Yep.
Putting 2/1 counters on whichever.
With a graveyard sub-theme.
Yes. A little bit of a brew. A little bit of a brew.
So this is green black fish. I like it.
See, I don't like the fact that you're not playing Kamina or Silvergill Adept.
Don't need them.
Don't need them.
Nope.
So, all right. Just gonna follow up with the snake, aforementioned snake, and get in there for one. And another thing is the Kamina Speaker. It's not gonna get turned on as often too. You're not playing islands in your deck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And we got a strike on the snake.
Strike on the snake.
Yep. I believe that leaves Doug with 2 cards in hand. So,
Chandra.
Oh, no, he's got 3.
Chandra and
Is that double on crop?
yeah, that's what it looked
wow.
like.
That's a good. That's a good 3.
Yeah. Looks like Luke has another snake though. And if Doug doesn't draw a 4th land, then that snake's gonna stick around for a little bit.
He's playing a 3-drop though. I think this is a
Jade Light.
Yeah.
Yep, Jade Light Ranger. Oh, Kamina Speaker's getting turned on.
And an elite on top.
Oh, he's gonna put that in the graveyard. He's gonna get that Hashipoasis.
Seems good.
Seems good.
Not sure why you. I guess the 4th land is that important to what I can't see what's in his hand, but I almost would have just left that elite on top.
I think he's got snake and a fatal push.
If he has a snake, I definitely would have left that on top.
Doug draws another lightning strike.
I think that's an invigorated rampage.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We're gonna gore clan some people.
We're gonna gore clan some people. Does not give you any more of a butt.
Yeah. MTG strategist. We will take a look at it right after this game.
Absolutely. So, I'm a big fan of Moment of Craving. It was just up on the screen because we're going to switch over to Invigorated Rampage, but I'm a big fan of Moment of Craving.
Neat trick with that. So we're going to see Invigorated Rampage now, but a neat trick with the Moment of Craving is if someone plays a Champion of Wits against you, with the trigger on the stack, you can actually use the Moment's Craving to kill it, and then if your opponent says, okay, I'm going to resolve the ability now, They don't draw any cards. They just discard 2 cards. It's a good way to get them in a comp REL event.
So it's not the same as them burning Champion of Wits with its trigger on the stack and choosing to resolve it, because then it checks the last known power of the card.
Yeah.
Because it and the last known power of it when it has a minus is 0, as opposed to the damage that's still 2.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. The trigger's a May, but you know, that's why you ask most. Okay, do you want to resolve your ability now? And sometimes you get them. It might be angle shooting. Wouldn't recommend it, but
yeah,
it works.
Angle shooting. All right, he's gonna activate this Hash Up Oasis. Gonna get in there for something big. So he can get in there for 8.
T Drizzle 327. Give us a follow, and we'll be more than happy to go over your deck list.
Yeah, absolutely. Right after we get over strategists.
Yep. Now form a line. You strategists. I hate you.
You know what that's from, right? There was like a like Will Ferrell impersonating George W. Bush, and he was doing a commercial. And it was like on Funny or Die or something. He goes, could you describe your describe the war on terror in one word? And he goes, strategery.
I have not heard that. We see a fatal push on the Soul Scar Mage here.
Actually, this leaves Doug dead. Doug is dead.
Is he?
Yeah. Because you knew he didn't have the Bowmat Carrier because he would have played it the last turn. So no new cards are in his hand. Unless you want to play around Lightning Strike, which is completely fine, but I think you're really just fine to activate this Hash Up Oasis and kill Doug. Yeah. Activate. Get in there. Doug's dead.
Got him.
Those Oasis.
I love seeing the utility lands
actually
used. A lot of people don't use them. They just have them in the deck because they've seen someone else playing them.
Yeah, especially Oasis. Yeah, you'll see Ifnir Deadlands activated more often than not. But Oasis and Ipnu Rivulet you don't see nearly as often. All right. Well, while these two are sideboarding, we're going to take a look at Strategist's deck. I see Tybalt.
I like it. So vampires with Tybalt? No. Let's get... Okay, there's the deck list.
All right.
So we've got some Neonates, some Kinras. So definitely with the madness theme here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Avacyn's Judgment does?
Avacyn's Judgment. It is red and a colorless, and then you can madness it for red and X, and it can deal X damage split divided as you choose among 2. Usually it's 2 damage divided as you choose.
So it's
but if you madness it, you can pay red and X and then divide it as you choose.
Okay.
We know what Conflagrate does.
Yeah. Fiery Temper. So the Valakuts are interesting. I feel like there's better utility lands you could play than the Valakut, right?
Well, you and I were talking last week about Keldon Megaliths.
Yeah.
Which
how often is this deck going to be Hellbent, though?
Yeah, if this deck is Hellbent quite often, then the Keldon Megaliths would be good, too.
By the way, for those of you at home, Keldon Megaliths is a enter the battlefield tapped. It produces a red. Yeah, we're going to get it on screen here. But if this deck is Hellbent a lot, I could definitely see this card being in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Harsh Mentor, Vandal Blast, Skullcrack, Rampaging Frostodon, and Insult to Injury. So
we're obviously worried about, I guess the Frostodons are for like affinity and
token-based matchups.
Yeah.
I think what I'm seeing right here is I think the deck is lacking in mana production as far as like if you're going to Conflagrate, you're going to want to do it for more than like 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't foresee that being like the case in this deck. It's playing 24 lands. Like 2 to 3. But like if you want to power out something in this deck, you could play something like Simian Spirit Guide
and some rituals.
Yeah, I mean, you could play Ritual. Ritual would allow you to go like bigger. I would also, if I'm playing red, no matter the case, it doesn't matter what deck it is, I'm playing Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
So you can, I mean, there's an argument to be made that you could play some number of Lightning Bolt over like Avacyn's Judgment. I understand the appeal with like Tibalt, like you're just trying to build a Tibalt themed deck, and even though you're not going to want to discard the card, it still holds a lot of value just being able to play Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, yeah. Also, if we're on the Hellbent strategy, you think Hellrider would be a fine?
I don't know if we're on the Hellbent strategy, but I definitely know that he's wanting to discard cards, like multiple cards in a turn. Maybe we should be playing Hollow One.
Ooh, yeah. Hollow One, or Flameblade Adept as
Yeah,
well.
Flameblade Adept and Hollow One in this deck would allow you to like play. I mean, the Hollow One or the Flameblade Adept would allow you to be like super aggressive with a turn 1 play, and then the Hollow One, a nice follow up when you've discarded 2 cards or 3 cards with like Faithless Looting.
Yeah, yeah. So that nice little Hollow One that could be put in there.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
MTG.
All right. So back to the action. I see an Earthshaker Kenra, and I see a Kamina's Elite.
And I see a bunch of lands in Doug's hand.
Yeah, I do too. I wonder. Okay, so he is gonna braid that, but he's left with not a lot of business in his hand. He also kept a slow hand too. No 1-drop, Earthshaker Kenra, and then like an Abrade and some lands.
So he's got 3 lands, and what's the other card?
I can't tell. It looks like kind of like a Hazoret, but I'm not 100% certain.
I mean, as long as Luke is playing something a turn, he shouldn't have any problems.
Well, he's gonna get ahead of this.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so he's got double Fatal Push.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
This is gonna be pretty good for Luke.
The only card that Luke's gonna have a legitimate issue with is Hazoret. Maybe Chandra too.
Got another land for Doug.
Is this a? Oh, there it is. There is the Hazoret.
Well, we have discard fodder. We can start shooting him for 2, I guess.
Yeah.
So Doug might still have a chance at this, because if Luke decides to pull the trigger on the Fatal Push, we're only 2 turns away from having a 4/4 Earthshaker, and this Hazoret could be swinging as early as maybe next turn.
I think he was right in pulling the trigger. He knew he had another Fatal Push anyways, and is on top of his deck. So even if he does bring it back, he can deal with that.
Yeah. I would have considered swinging in first and offering the trade. That way I have the Fatal Push for the Eternalized
I
token.
100% agree with you. I think Doug was a little quick on playing the Hazoret, and he should have waited until after combat. I mean, that's just generally a type of thing that players who are eager to get their spells out there, not thinking it over. But generally, if you withhold your spells a little bit longer, then you will be able to make a favorable trade.
Yeah, so picked up a Lightning Strike here for Doug, so you can strike something and pitch a card.
Okay, he's gonna... Oh, so he's gonna attempt to strike that. Luke thought about Blossoming Defensing it. I do agree with him not using that as correct.
Not using the Blossoming Defense is correct?
Yeah. But now Luke's going down to 7?
I don't know. I feel like using the Blossoming Defense there when you have a chance to, because now if you want to play, if he's playing Gearhulk or something, now you no longer have the ability to hold up the Blossoming Defense.
No, I agree. Well, he's going to need a Vraskic's Contempt or like another moment of crazy.
There's an Aether Sphere Harvester. That's
something.
Yeah, it's going to set the Hazoret back at least 1 turn.
Well, he's got the Blossoming Defense. He could block and then activate. So he could activate it, block, and then Blossoming Defense, pump it up, and then
give it lifelink.
Give it lifelink. Flip that script a little bit. I'm a fan of that, but he doesn't have much else going on in his hand. He really does not. And he's got to find a way to get aggressive in this game. And you definitely want to hold up that that Fatal Push as well, because you don't want to have to deal with that Earthshaker Kenra when it comes back.
So yeah, we're just going to see the Aether Sphere Harvester here.
I'm going to put 2 energy up there.
This is probably the best play. You probably just pass now. No need to do anything else. And then, like we talked about, if he eternalizes the Earthshaker, we have the Fatal Push. Then we can activate the Harvester. Block, give it lifelink, and Blossoming Defense it.
Yeah.
And then on the following turn, we can just activate it and swing. And then we're probably in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
So this strategy is black-green fish. Featuring
no, that's not strategy.
Constrictor.
That's strategery.
Oh, strategery. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Strategery is it's like strategy.
We have yeah.
But without the strategy. You're going in with a plan, but it's not a very good one. That's strategery. All right, we'll see if Luke goes for the play I was talking about earlier. Just animating and blocking with his Aether Sphere Harvester.
He's thumbed Vona's Hunger to the front of the hand.
Vona's Hunger? You mean Moment of Craving?
Yeah. They're all the same thing, right?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
See if he goes for the Blossoming Defense here. I don't want him to do Moment of Craving, because he could be playing another Moment of Craving, and if you draw another one, then you have a legitimate answer.
Yeah, then you can kill it. Yep.
There you go. There you go. And then you're gonna flip it and give it some good old-fashioned lifelink.
Yeah, don't forget to give. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Gain that life. All right. Luke's going to go back up to 10. And Doug's follow-up is a Soul Scar Mage. Okay. Ooh, I would have Fatal Push that Soul Scar Mage at the end of turn.
I think I'm okay with waiting.
You think?
I would 100% rather be safe on killing the Eternalized Earthshaker than just killing a Soul Scarred Mage.
True. So here's what I like. I like animating the Aether Sphere Harvester. I like animating the Aether Sphere Harvester, giving it +3/+3, giving it lifelink, and swinging.
Looks like we're gonna sack the Oasis here. So, yeah, Luke's gonna be.
Luke's gonna have to take a point of damage to do that, though. Due to the way he's tapped, he should be at 9.
Yep, because he had to use the Hash Sheep as one of the green.
Yep.
So we'll try and get that. We'll get the spotter to change that.
Yeah, but after all said and done, he'll be at 15. So we did get a change on that. So now Doug's down to 11, and wouldn't it be funny if this game ended the same way the last game ended, with double hash up Oasis triggers?
So actually, a Glory Bringer would be the best draw for Doug here, because I don't think Luke has another way to crew the Harvester.
Yeah, you're correct. He does not. Not yet. I mean,
then he would just be dead in 2 turns.
He's only drawn 2 creatures this game. He's only drawn 2 Merfolk Branchwalkers. Ooh, and a shock on that.
A shock is fine as well.
Yeah. Not bueno. So, yeah, he's going to have to Fatal Push right here. It's just, you go down to 10.
I would have waited.
It's so hard, like,
because now you're dead to a land drop.
I mean, you're dead to a lot of things here. I mean, you don't have any creatures going on.
He picked up a snake, but we're out of energy.
Play that.
We still have the Moment of Craving in hand. That's why I would have waited with the Fatal Push, because I would have just taken the damage from the Soul Scar Mage and then Moment of Craving'd it. That way you still have the Fatal Push ready for the Kenra.
So crew the Aether Sphere, put Doug down to 8.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't crew it.
I would.
No, just because if he does bring back the Kinra now,
He's got Moment of Craving up.
It's a 4/4.
Yeah. So puts you down to 1. If he swings both of them, which he did draw land, he's gonna bring back the Kinra, put him down to 1. You can Moment of Craving if you want. So Moment of Craving, put yourself to 3. If you draw a creature, like a 1 or 2 drop, I guess it would have to be a 1 drop, then you're able to crew that copter and then activate a Hash Up Oasis and kill Doug. Or if you draw a Blossoming Defense, now that's an out as well.
It seems like too specific of a draw for my taste.
No, like a Blossoming Defense is too specific.
Well, it has to be a creature, right? Well, he did pick up the champion here, deep or an elite, excuse me.
Okay. Let me think. I'm just trying to think of how Luke can win this game. I'm just trying to think of a sequence of draws. He drew the elite. On his turn, if Doug goes to activate Hazaret, he can in response Moment of Craving on the Earthshaker Kenra or the Hazaret itself. He can block the Earthshaker Kenra. I mean, there's multiple things that he can draw, too, that would be able to kill Doug. He's just going to have to try to get himself a little bit more ahead. I think Luke is at 1. Is he not? Is he not at 1?
He should be at 1. I need to have someone subscribed already.
This? Right here? Alright. So he's going to play. He's going to activate. Then in response. Yeah, he's got a Moment of Craving on the Earthshaker Kenra. Now Doug's not going to be able to swing with it. So Luke's going to go to 1. So, ooh. So Luke has no cards in hand. Doug is just going to get in there with that Hazaret. Or maybe now he's trying not to get in with the Hazaret. Maybe he's thinking I'll just try to kill him with
Drawing a card next turn.
Yeah. Luke's just gonna chump block here. And again, Doug is dead to a Blossoming Defense. Is that what he drew? Did he draw a Blossoming Defense?
I can't tell. I don't want to say yes he did, but I can't tell.
If it's a Blossoming Defense, then Doug is dead. Hold on, you're gonna have to activate. I think it is a Blossoming Defense. I think he's gonna win this game. Doug is at exactly 8. Luke's gonna have to tap. Oh no, it's not a Blossoming Defense. It's a Jade Light Ranger.
Man.
Boring. No, now Luke died.
Yeah,
Luke is dead.
Yeah, it's just over now.
Aw, man. Looks kind of like Blossoming Defense a little bit. The picture does, so if you kind of take a glance at it. Man. How neat would that have been? That would have been a good win.
Oh, that would have been great.
But as it stands, I think Luke's just going to die to Hazaret, as is usually the case. That Jade Light Ranger has 4 counters on it. But it doesn't matter.
Because we're dead.
Because we're dead. All right. That was the end of that game.
Okay.
So Doug takes that game 2-1 on the back of Hazaret. Who would have thought? Now we're going to take a look
at Super Boss Giovanni's.
Well, before Super Boss Giovanni's, we're going to look at
T-Drizzle.
Yep. We're going to look at this Bant mid-range
T-Drizzle,
for standard.
If you haven't already liked or subscribed to us, please do so.
Or at least follow.
Yeah.
Pretend like you like us. All right. So Azor, the Lawbringer, big fan.
Bound Initiate.
Okay. Merfolk Branchwalker, Ronus, Ripjaw Raptor, Farm to Market, Settle the Wreckage, Supreme Will, Heart of Kieran, Sky Sovereign, 3 Baffling End, 2 Cast Out, 1 Search. So already, just right out of the gate, it looks like you have some 2-drops that you have one of each color of 2-drop. That is to say blue, white, and green. And when you're doing that in standard, where the mana isn't as fantastic as it would be in, say, modern or legacy, you put a little bit more pressure on your mana base and not being able to cast everything. Usually you'll want to go like 2 colors, splash the third, and the third splash color won't be until late game. But, alright. I would definitely be playing some number of Evolving Wilds. Maybe over the Oasis. Maybe cut like a Scatter Groves or something like that. At least 2, maybe 3 Evolving Wilds. Since you're not really playing any 1-drops. Another thing would be to like move the Cellular Wreckages. It looks like you're kind of you are mid-rangey, but you do have, and I do like Farm to Market. But I'm not a big fan of Settle the Wreckage, since with mid-range decks, the point of the deck is to like try to get ahead of your opponent, trade resources a little bit, and then take over the late game. And it's hard when you're giving your opponent more lands than you with Settle the Wreckage.
Also, we're playing, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue cards, 6 blue cards total. So the Azor being double blue really makes it kind of rough. But
well, the Evolving Wilds would help shore that up, because he has Botanical Sanctum and Glacial Fortress, so there are both of those. But with like Search for Azcanta and then Glorybound Initiate, and even though there is only 1 blue 2-drop, I mean, if you have that in your hand, it's not fantastic.
Really good,
yeah. So, and the Heart of Kieran, it doesn't exactly fit in this deck style. I'm a big fan right now in this standard format of playing Essence Scatter. I think Essence Scatter has gained a lot with like how much Scarab God has gained in popularity. It's good against Hazoret. It's good against all these decks that are playing like hard to deal with permanents, usually in the form of creatures. So I'm a big fan of Essence Scatter. I'm a big fan of Supreme Will as well.
Well, that, and you're only playing 11 creatures, so
yeah,
it's going to be. It seems like it would be. I haven't gotten to play your deck, obviously, but it seems like 11 might not be enough to warrant playing those Heart of Kirans. Maybe better served just turning the Heart of Kirans into
more creatures.
Yeah, actual creatures.
Like Jade Light Ranger. Jade Light Ranger is I'm a big fan of that card, especially in standard right now.
The Explorers can help fix your mana too.
Yeah, that absolutely. Especially like Evolving Wilds and things of that nature. Then you're going to be able to like, curve out 2-drop. You want to curve out, and I'm a big fan of 4 Merfolk Branchwalker as well. Curve out into 2-drop, into 3-drop, into 4-drop permanents that are hard to deal with, your opponent to deal with. And then that's how you gain your advantage.
Yeah, I love Bant though, and overall the shell of the deck looks pretty good.
Yep.
I just think that might be too many Heart of Kirans. But
I even like the Sky Sovereign. I just think Heart of Kieran with only 11 creatures is kind of a little bit, and I would move the Settle the Wreckages to the board. Other than that, you have a lot of hard to deal with permanents for your opponent, and you have some controlling elements as well.
Yeah, nice deck. Thank you for sharing that with us, T-Drizzle.
Now we'll take a look at Giovanni's.
So we got some Minotaur Devotion here, which looks like it's red.
Yep. Oop. All right.
So.
Okay. There we go. Now we got it. So.
Right off the bat, I noticed there's no Shrine to Nykthos.
Yeah.
Seems like that would be a good one here.
Yeah, especially with like a deck with Boros Reckoner. I would play more Boros Reckoners.
Boros Reckoner is great.
It is fantastic, and it's especially good when it was in standard with like Fanatic of Mogus. I'm a big fan of that.
Isn't there a way? What's the other half to make Boros Reckoner infinite? Is it just 2 Boros Reckoners and you just bolt one and start shooting them off each other?
No. They have to be indestructible, so you have to do like Boros Charm or something like that.
Gotcha. So yeah, so you'd have to add white, and that's not what we want to be doing.
I do like the Shrine of Burning Rages, but other than that, looks like you don't have a lot of early 2 and 3 drops. I would maybe cut the Brute Strengths, which just, especially in Modern League, do a lot of 2-for-1s if your opponent's playing Bolt or Path or Fatal Push. I would cut those, maybe play a 4th Bolt, and I would play some number of creatures that might be able to pump your team up, whether it be Metallic Mimic. I'd even be a big fan of Simian Spirit Guide.
Yeah.
Being able to power out a 3-drop early.
And if you're really serious about playing a Brute Strength effect, just make it Invigorated Rampage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just strictly better, in my opinion. You can give it to 2 guys, or just make 1 guy trample for 4 instead of 3.
Yeah, and like with Perforos, you want to turn on Perforos. Obviously, you want the trigger from him, but Perforos being turned on, that's another way to give him trample, would be the Invigorated Rampage. But yeah, Nykthos, I would be a big fan of Nykthos in this type of deck, especially if you're playing Awaken the Ancient, too, as another way for yourself to gain more mana. So, all right.
Thank you for sharing those with us, guys. If you haven't already, please follow, subscribe, like us.
Which one's Path to Metal?
That is the red white enchantment in standard. Where,
the red one.
If you swing at the creature and it's got first strike, vigilance, it's the one that deals with the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The card itself is okay. I'm less of a fan of that card, more of a fan of the 3/3 2-drop Raptor that the deck plays. I
don't like the Raptor at all.
I like the Raptor. I think if you're going to play an aggressive deck, because then that type of deck, you do play Heart of Kirin, and then the Raptor can just crew that, or it can just be aggressive itself.
Yep.
So I think in a red-white aggro deck, and I've seen these red-white aggro decks, and they haven't been playing Heart of Kirin for some reason, and I think that is exactly what you want in conjunction with that Raptor.
Yep. As far as the card itself goes, I personally am not a fan of playing something like that in an aggro deck. I feel like you just want to keep playing creatures and swinging. It seems cute to me.
It's like more of a sideboard card, in my opinion, as opposed to something that's just a mainstay.
Yeah, bring it in against like some kind of a tokens deck is fine, but I don't think I would play it main deck and build around it. You're really like constricting yourself on what kind of creatures you can play, because they all have to have some kind of relevant, attack effect on them, like vigilance or strike or something.
Well,
like
especially since there's already a red-white base standard deck that already puts up results in the case of red-white or Mardu vehicles.
Yeah.
So there's the shell right there for something.
Well, that's going to do it for this round. We've got about 5 minutes before we go to time. We'll be back with another round. Again, like us, subscribe. For everyone that does, post your deck list. We'll review it for what it's worth. 2 guys you don't know. We'll berate your deck.
Yeah. Berate, air quotes.
It's just what everyone loves, right?
Yep.
All right.
All right. We'll be right back, guys. Thanks.